Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well. You lot almost had me. You almost had me, yeah? Fabrizio, not David Ornstein today. Fabrizio and a few others, you almost had me. I was about to hit the record button. I had a video lined up, and then I pop away, come back 2 minutes. Oh, there's been news. There's been news. I would have uploaded, and then things would have come out, and I would have been done again. Nah. Not today. Not today. Because we got news on this geezer. Now, before we get into that, make sure you go and check out video number 1. I'll leave a link for you at the top right-hand corner. Have a butchers and enjoy. And I told you guys there would be a lot of news in the second half of the day. Bloody hell, I could make 2 videos out of this. We could get a triple upload, but I'm not going to do that. That's too much. There's too much video consumption for you guys. Let's just go through this, and then you guys probably like, nah, give us triple, if necessary. It's not necessary yet. Yeah, we're gonna need an extreme, like another storm, for me to do a triple. Anyway, let's dive right into it. Nico Jackson has just entered the headlines right now. So what's happened? As expected. I'm not surprised. Here we go. Breaking. Be attentive to Nico Jackson's situation at Chelsea, because I'm hearing there is a possibility between Jackson and Chelsea to part ways this summer. He goes on to say, Nicolas Jackson has concrete chances to leave Chelsea. Clubs in the Premier League and Italy are calling to find out the eventual conditions of the deal. One to watch. On top of that, we have AC Milan are dreaming of Jackson, but he is too expensive at the moment. Premier League clubs are interested. There is a concrete possibility. There we go. And there's a little bit more on Nico Jackson. I'll show you this actually. Matteo Moretto in Italy about AC Milan. AC Milan today had new contacts to try and delve deeper into the financials. They are obsessed with Jackson. For Chelsea, Jackson is a player that can leave the club. AC Milan, eh? AC Milan! AC Milan! Yeah? You guys, you're here. How are all of you doing? Yeah, long time no speak. When was the last time we spoke? A couple of weeks ago for Mike Mignon, wasn't it? Yeah? How did that go? Well, seeing as you lot have a dream and you got someone we want, I think something can be worked out here, no? But the valuations of the players are completely different, so we got to be realistic here. Yeah, we got to be realistic here. We want Mike Mignon? Cool. We wanted to offer you 8 million in a packet of crisps. You wanted 25 million euros. Am I correct? 25 million euros. That's about 20 million pounds. Yeah? Okay. How about, yeah, and Chelsea should start off high here, just to start off high because we're selling the player. But how about, instead of just cash, you give us cash and Mike Mignon, and we'll give you Nico Jackson. How's that? I think that's a win-win for everyone, right? That's a win-win for everybody. Surely. But how much? Look. If you give us Mike Mignon and you give us 40 million, how does that sound? And we give you Jackson. Your dream. You want, I don't know why they're dreaming for Jackson, by the way, but anyway. Your dream. Yeah? You can have your dream, not a problem. But how does that sound? 40 plus Mignon. Deal? Realistically, look, we're not stupid. Jackson's valuation is not going to be much higher than Madueke. Let's just be honest. Okay? Let's not pretend he's R9. As if not, he'd be staying. It's going to be around there. But AC Milan are also a little bit strapped for cash at the moment. But they have someone that we want. So this is why I'm thinking, okay, maybe, look, we can come to a little compromise. Yeah? Now, unless if Jackson's valuation is actually really high and I'm not aware, then, but I don't see how. So Personally, yeah, let's talk about my opinion now. Look, I think this should happen. I think this needs to happen. Just please, yeah. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Especially, I wasn't expecting AC Milan. AC Milan are here. We can use this to get Mike Maignan to the club. Mike Maignan on cash. Now, honestly, how much am I willing to accept? Just me, because of Nico Jackson. I am actually happy to take Mike Maignan and maybe 30 mil on top of that, and you can have Jackson. Cool. Because we're getting a goalkeeper. We've already done our striker business. We're selling Madueke. We've got loads of outgoings. I'm not going to butcher this for another, 20 mil? I'm not, personally, I'm not fussed. But I want us to have a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper. So this is why. Anyone else now, just straight up cash? No, straight up cash, I would be looking to try and get 65 million or 60, 65. I think should be a fair valuation to be honest. So what would you do? Let me know down below. Much appreciated. We'll see what ends up happening here. But Nico Jackson could be leaving Chelsea. And AC Milan are very, very, very interested. Well, let's talk. So, let me know your thoughts on that. Would you want to let go of Nico Jackson? Or do you want him to stay? Or are you happy to try and get Mike Maignan on the deal? Or do you want straight cash? What would you value him at? Let me know down below all of those questions. Much appreciated. Chelsea and Arsenal now. Madueke, what's the latest? Chelsea and Arsenal keep working on Noni Madueke deal. I will tell you more soon, says Fabrizio Romano. Okay, we'll leave that one on hold and we'll wait and see what happens. But like I've said, this deal will happen, pretty sure, unless Arsenal do something stupid. But I think it will happen, I'm pretty sure. Let's wait and see. We'll give that one some time. Strasbourg. We're going to talk about Strasbourg today. Strasbourg have been in the news for quite a lot, actually. Starting off with Matias. I told you needed to go to Strasbourg. After that one appearance you made, you needed to go, and now you're gone. Sorry, bro. Strasbourg have agreed a deal with Chelsea to sign Amugu on a permanent deal. We have Matias Amugu will join Strasbourg on a permanent deal from Chelsea, plan confirmed since February. Amugu already agreed to the move, and Strasbourg also work on deal to sign Maxi Oyedeli from Legia on a €6 million fee. As that person, we owe Dar 85 reports. On top of this, Chelsea have agreed to sell midfielder Matias Amugu to Strasbourg for an undisclosed fee. Is there more? I think that might be more. Oh, no, there is more. All signed for Matias Amugu's moves to Strasbourg on permanent deal from Chelsea. Contract until June 2030, as Cyril Olives reports, with Chelsea to include buyback clause and not using loan spot. That explains why it's happening. I got to be honest, when I first saw this, I was like, what is going on? Why did we buy him in the first place then? Now, I don't know the ins and outs. Maybe Strasbourg were not in a position to buy financially. So Chelsea took the brunt, knowing that the plan was to always get him to Strasbourg. But we don't want to use up a loan spot. So it's okay. We sign him on a 7-year deal, or 7-year deal, I think it was. Now, what Chelsea can do from Strasbourg, even though it's the same ownership, but we can sell him to Strasbourg. We've amortized 5 years out of the 7. And we can, I don't know how much he's gone for. We bought him for 15 million euros. How much is he being sold for? It's undisclosed. We don't know. I'm guessing Chelsea have made a profit from this. Yeah. But it's basically just money being transferred from one club to the other. Yeah. It's the same ownership. So Chelsea benefit with a buyback as well. Okay. Strasbourg get the player that was originally intended for them, surely. And only now they can buy, maybe before they weren't in a position to buy. Do you know what I mean? So I think this just honestly looks like one big massive loophole. Again, this looks like one big massive financial transaction just to make sense for both clubs. That's it. But he was originally for Strasbourg. Let's be real. I was shocked when we bought him in the first place. Why? 15 million euros. Why? What was the point? I think now we found out why. Yeah? Strasbourg was the intention all along. Chelsea have made some money, so that's going to balance our books out a little bit. And Strasbourg can now pay for the deal, maybe something that they couldn't do before. So there we are. But Amugu is joining Strasbourg. We'll see how he gets on there. And then there's a buyback. If anything happens, we'll just reverse this whole transaction and put it back in Chelsea's favour. That's it. So we'll see how he does. They are collecting quite a lot of players from us, Strasbourg. They're getting quite a lot of our lads for next season. And they also got one more. So check this out. Mike Penders is close to join Strasbourg on loan after Philip Jorgensen refused to join, says L'Equipe. Is there more to this as well? No. Yeah, Mike Penders is on his way to Strasbourg now. This is why, okay, first I don't understand. Jorgensen refused? How can he refuse? You know? It's a loan. I don't understand. You're not playing at Chelsea. Why are you refusing? Unless, is he getting sold? You know, or is he happy to just sit on the bench and do nothing? I don't get it. Mike Penders, though, to be honest, look, this has turned out best because Mike Penders is the one that actually needs a loan. But you can't tell me we're heading into the new season with Sanchez and Jorgensen again. Come on. You can't. Surely not. Surely not. Mike Penders to Strasbourg is fantastic. Great. I'm looking forward to seeing what Strasbourg are going to do and how Mike Penders is going to play. And fingers crossed he'll do really well out there. But surely we get someone in. Surely. Well, AC Milan want Jackson. Well, come on, cough up. Give us Mike Manuel. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one. Let's move. Jao Felix. That's a name I've not said in a while. Here's the latest. Update from Portuguese media saying Jao Felix is close to signing for Benfica. This is the original post. And if we were to translate this, because we don't speak Portuguese, Benfica is close to finalizing the permanent signing of Jao Felix, according to journalist Bruno Andrade on Mais Futebol. I hope I said that right. The Eagles accelerated the process after a meeting between Rui Costa and the Portuguese international's representatives this afternoon, the same source adds. So that's some more money coming in for Jao Felix, who, look, at first I was actually excited to see Jao Felix back because I like Jao Felix. And I still think he's a good player. It's just, I think it's him. It's not even, for this, it's not even about Chelsea. I think it's the player. Wherever he goes, he's just not comfortable. He's just not at home. The only place he actually looked good was Barcelona, and that didn't last long. You know, so he's heading off. He was only brought in because of Gallagher. So it wasn't even because, we wanted Felix. We just made Felix happen because we had to. And now he's leaving. How much is he going to go for? Well, that's going to be one of the players that we make some money from because of the outgoing. So Jao Felix is on his way out. We'll see what happens there. Let me know your thoughts. And good luck to him, because if he's going back to Benfica, if he's going home, I think he'll do well there. I think there he'll find his element. I hope. I hope he actually finds a home. Yeah? I'm making him sound like he's in Battersea dogs and cats home, or he's in a shelter or something. I don't want it to sound like that, but I hope he finds a home. Yeah? I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one. Now, this is a very weird segment of the video where we're coming to an end, but this is gonna sound bizarre. Tottenham. Is this actually you, Tottenham? Is this you, or have you been infiltrated? Because I don't understand what's happened today. Tottenham are making actual moves, real moves, big moves. You want to see? Check this out. David Ornstein says Tottenham Hotspur turning attention to Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White. Tottenham head coach Thomas Frank, long-term admirer of the 25-year-old, and Spurs will try to convince the England international to join if a deal can be agreed with Nottingham Forest. We also have, with David Ornstein, saying Morgan Gibbs-White contract believed to include £60 million release clause. Tottenham Hotspur working to sign midfielder from Nottingham Forest. Tottenham boss Thomas Frank was keen on the Forest and England player whilst at Brentford, right? And we also have that Gibbs-White scheduled to undergo medical on Friday ahead of proposed transfer from Forest to Tottenham. 25-year-old England international has £60 million release clause in Forest contract, enabling Tottenham move. So they've triggered the release clause. 60 mil. 60 mil. Tottenham are splashing 60 mil. It's pretty mental. Well, yeah, here's the confirmation as well from Fabrizio. Morgan Gibbs-White to Tottenham is here we go. Spurs trigger £60 million release clause after direct contact with Forest today. Medical booked and set to take place. As Telegraph, Mike McGrath reported. Follows Kudus, done deal. Massive moves for Tottenham, or for Spurs project. Because on top of that, yes, we also have the confirmation from Tottenham. He only wanted Spurs. Welcome to North London, Mohamed Kudus. What is going on? What's going on? No, this isn't Tottenham. I do not recognize this club. I do not recognize this club. No. This is not Tottenham. This is not Tottenham. Arsenal, is that you? Is that you? Doesn't look like you. Nah, Tottenham, you can't be. Is this because of Champions League? Yeah, it's because you got Champions League money, isn't it? Okay. Well, let me explain something, right? Because there are Tottenham fans that are probably getting quite gassed for this, and correctly so. This is good business. For Tottenham, this is very good business. To get Kudus in and to get Gibbs-White in is pretty nuts, right? They were also linked... actually, let me show you this, because I want to give you guys the full context. They were also linked with Wissa, right? Well, here's more on Wissa. David Ornstein says, Nottingham Forest renew pursuit of Yoane Wissa. Fresh offer made to Brentford for 28-year-old Congo striker. Bid falls under 25 million. Forest were prepared to pay in January window and considerably lower than Brentford valuation in excess of 50 million. That's Forest now. Maybe they're trying to piece themselves together after Gibbs-White, but Tottenham are making these moves. But I want to say, you got Champions League money. Now it's looking like you're just, you're a kid in a toy store at the moment. You're just going crazy. I got money. I've got money. We got money to spend. Flip it. Buy this. Buy that. Buy that. Buy that. Buy that. I want that toy and I want that toy and I want that toy and I want that toy. Literally, they're going nuts. Well, listen, yeah, Tottenham, relax. Because in order to maintain this sort of activity, you need to continuously qualify for the Champions League. If not, you are right now going through nothing but a free trial. You're going through a one summer window subscription. That's it. One subscription. And after that, run out. That's it. You got to pay more to get more credits around here. Yeah? So it's not as easy as just start splashing and going crazy. Although this business is good for Tottenham right now. But do I expect them to maintain this sort of level of business? No, I don't. Because I don't expect them to qualify for the Champions League again with the competition that there is. But these signings does get them closer than I originally anticipated. These are good moves. These are very good moves. So, will they do more? Will they use this summer window subscription that they've got, yeah, to get more? We will see. We will see. But let me know your thoughts on that. As I said, personally, in the long term, I don't think this is going to materialize into silverware. But right now, I mean, you've got to start somewhere. So fair play to Tottenham. They're showing the most intent that I've seen in decades, as far as I'm concerned. We've not seen Tottenham move like this, I think, ever. So finally, maybe Daniel Levy wasn't lying when he said he wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League. But it's going to take a lot more than that. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So I respect it. But it's going to take more. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one as we wrap up with this. The deal for Victor Osimhen has never been off so far as talks are still underway with Napoli. Italian club insists to have bank guarantees as key step to accept 75 million euros in 5 years. Galatasaray remain in Milano to negotiate and get the green light. There was a rumour from Di Marzio and saying that the deal had fallen through. That Galatasaray's 75 million euro bid to trigger the release clause had been rejected. I'm like, how is that possible? How can you reject a release clause? It's a release clause. I don't understand. You go straight to the player. But Fabrizio is now saying that no, they're still talking. This is probably going to happen. I expect it to happen. So we'll wait for Osimhen to end up signing permanently at Galatasaray. So there we are. Let me know your thoughts on that one. I've got nothing to say on Osimhen, to be honest. We know he's going to end up at Galatasaray. It's the only feasible option left. He's going to get Champions League football. He's already played the season there. He was happy. He was all good. Good luck to him. This whole striker saga is finished. Now, it's done. So, that's that. But Nico Jackson is the new striker on the block. up for sale, it seems, or up for grabs at least. So let me know your thoughts on everything we went over. Much appreciated. I will catch all of you tomorrow for another double. Make sure you guys are here. Subscribe, notification bell on to be notified once I have uploaded. And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Look after yourselves, people. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.